The last review we have is the Module 5 Quiz 2. And this one covers the other part of the chapter. It has one word problem and solving inequalities, which were the two main focuses for the second half of the chapter, lessons 4 through 7. So let's get started. Just two problems on this one. And no back page, I don't think. Nope, no back page. So this will be a pretty short video. At a recent concert, a total of 3,685 people attended. So we know this is probably going to be a total problem or an addition problem, one or the two. If 15 more men attended, Kim, read. If 15 more women attended than men. Remember that key word. The minute you see then, you know what your X is. Using the variable X. I hate it that they ask you to do that. But they don't want to give away which one's X, so I guess that's why they picked it. Because if they said use the variable M, then that tells you min equals M. Find the number that attended the concert. So, men, we can immediately go and write X. Because it followed the word than. So this one was kind of tricky. It told us total, but then it used the word than, so we knew it was a than problem. That just means we're going to add men plus women. And you could even write that right here to remind yourself. Men plus women equals 3685. And I forgot to tell you at the beginning, if you want to work this first, great practice for your test. So just turn off your video, do these two problems, and then you can come back. I forgot to tell you that at the beginning. So if you want to do that, go for it. 15 more women than men. So if men is X, 15 more means add 15 to X. So this is the number of men, this is the number of women, and now we can plug that in. X plus 15 equals 3,685. So that's why I like to write that there, and then you just put the X in for men. Bring down your plus sign, and in place of women, you put X plus 15. And when we did this one earlier in our chapter, I told you that the most common mistake on this is students write X plus 15 equals 3,685. And I write on their test and I go, X plus 15, that's women. So you're telling me 3,685 women went to the concert? No, it's men plus women. I don't know if students are afraid of having two variables in the problem, but you have to understand what it's saying. Men plus women. So you can't just write X plus 15. That means women equals this, and that says total. So that's my equation. So now we solve it. We can put ones in front of each. So that would be 2x plus 15 equals 3,685. So it's just a tiny little two-step problem. So I would say this is one of our easier word problems on the test because it's just a translation problem as long as you remember whatever follows than is your X or whatever variable they tell you to use. So to solve it, subtract 15 from both sides. And that's why it's always a good idea to work these first, and then you can find out areas where you made a mistake. Did you write just X plus 15? And then tell yourself, oh, that's saying women equals, but it's supposed to be men plus women. That way you can kind of get out some of the kinks before you take the test. 5 minus 5 is 0. 8 minus 1 is 7, so that is 3670, and then I'll verify it on my calculator since it's a quiz. 3685 minus 15. 3670. Divide both by 2, and then we have our 3670 already in the calculator, and we just have to divide by 2. So 1835. And so when I see this, I go, oh, let me write my variables here. Women. Women is x plus 15. Men is just x. That way I'm all ready to do my answers. Every x in this problem now has a value of 1835. So 1835 and 1835. So now you can get your two answers by understanding that every x in the problem now has that value. And that's why we write our variable statements at the beginning, so that we can do that here to help us get the answers. So 1835 and 15 would be 1850. And this one, it's just 1835. And it said 15 more women. So is 1835 plus 15, 1850? Yep. And probably the best way to check this is to make sure your two numbers add to the total. So it says check for reasonableness. So is 1850 plus 1835 equal to the total number that attended, which is 3685? Because it does say check for reasonableness. And so we do 1850 plus 1835. Ding, 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 ding. Yes, it does. It is a reasonable answer because I got the same number on both sides. So that is how you would check for reasonableness. First, make sure this one answers the question. 15 more women. Yep, this plus 15. And then check to make sure the total is what they told you was the total that attended. So we can, without a doubt, know we just walked away with 14 points because we checked our work and did all the parts that were asked. It's a great feeling on a test when you can do a check and go, yes, I know I got that one right. It's just like an adrenaline rush, you know, it makes you feel good about yourself. And then you do better on your test. When you walk away and go, ooh, I don't know if I got that one right, then that kind of gives you a defeatist attitude. So it's great to be able to check and puff yourself up and go, yes, got that one right. Okay, so if you haven't already done this one, please do it first, just so you get a last practice with an inequality, and then come back and join the video and we'll check it together. And let's add in set builder notation here too, because I know in the next class they require it. So I just keep mentioning it just so it will be familiar to you in the next class, and if they happen to ask for it on your quiz or on your test, you'll be ready for it too. On the next test, it's 3 parts. Write your answer in set builder notation, draw your graph, write interval notation. So in Math 126, it goes A, B, C. Okay, to solve this one, left side's not going to change anytime soon. The right side, 8 stays 8. Remember, do not subtract. Multiplication always comes before subtraction. So this is -5. And sometimes I notice that students lose that negative. So don't ever be afraid to circle it to remind yourself both of these are being multiplied by -5. So -5 times x, -5x. -5 times -3, +15. So then we have -7x plus 11 is greater than, we got some like terms here, this is an 8 and a +15. I'm going to write my -5x first. And then 8 plus 15 is 23 positive. And the reason I circled those is so I don't accidentally go 8 minus 15. That minus goes with the 5, so I circled them with their sign, so I have it right there. So negative 5x plus 23. Now all of our x's need to be on the left, so we add 5x. Remember, that's not optional with inequalities. X's must be on the left or you will shade wrong and you'll write your interval notation wrong. The only part you'll get right is this one. So that's why from the very beginning, even when we were doing equations, I said always move your x's left, and then it's a habit. You don't have to break an old habit and make a new one. We just do it on every one. Works every time. So signs are different, so subtract, keep the sign of the larger. And I can already tell on the last step, this one's going to be flipped. Don't flip it yet. You don't flip it until you divide by a negative. Because my x term is negative, though, I know it's going to happen in the problem. So I just kind of make a note of that. Next, we have to move everything without an x over to the right. So we get negative 2x is greater than 2, 1. Is that 12? Now we're dividing by the negative. Now's the time to remember, flip your symbol. So double negative, that turns into x. Now it's going to be less than, and a positive divided by a negative is negative 6. So that is my solution. In Math 126, they never have you write this anywhere. This is part A. They want you to write it in Set Builder. So you say what letter are they using? X, X such that, and then you put your answer in it. And that's one of the most missed questions on the test and quiz in 126 because they type this in when the question asks for Set Builder. I think on yours they just want the answer, but just read it carefully. If they want Set Builder, write your answer that way. If they just say solve, write your answer that way. So read the directions carefully. Okay, so we have a less than, which means we're shading left. All the L's go together. Looks like an L, red less than, shade left. So let's do negative 5, negative 6, negative 7. Less than left, no equal sign. That means it's a parenthesis, so a parenthesis at negative 6, shade left. And that's how we write our graph for this problem. Parenthesis, then click here and it'll shade on the side that you want it to click. Or, okay, say that again, Kim. It shades on the side you click on. So if you click here, it's going to shade that way. So make sure and click here so it shades left. And then only for this part, not for your graph, only for this part, then go up to your graph, actually put it on your paper, not on the Alex, and then you bring these two down in the same order. Negative infinities on the left, it always gets a parenthesis. Negative 6 is your right endpoint, and it gets a parenthesis because there's no equal sign. So there you have it, all the 4 different ways to write your answer, just by solving, using Set Builder, showing your answer with a graph, writing your answer using interval notation. And just a reminder, order matters on this. So always make sure you draw your graph first, even if it's on your paper, so you don't mess up that order. You write negative 6 to infinity or negative 6, negative infinity, every teacher and computer will count it wrong. It has to be in the same order as the number line. Smallest value first, largest value second. Okay, so there is a brief 3-page review, 2 pages from your first quiz and a page from this quiz. So keep practicing, make sure you're good and ready for that test, and I wish you all the best. Make sure the next thing you do is look over your practice tests, see if there's any ones you have questions about. Because remember, you can go into your, I'm not sure if I can do this on the video, I'm going to try. Let's see if I can show this. Okay. So, I'm not sure if you guys can see this. Oh, let me publish it. So hopefully you can see this. If you can't, I'll just say it in words. So on your Canvas homepage, you go down to the very last box and it says Module 5 quizzes, which obviously you found those, but that's everything you need for your review. The first quiz and its videos, the second quiz and its videos, the test review if you want to print a blank one and do it yourself, the key, which you should already have those all done from class. And then if you want to review any, you can go in here and go, oh, let me see, which one did I have trouble with? Oh, I had trouble with this one. And then you can click and it will play a video and show you how to do that problem. You know, the different parts of it. And it's all the way through. There's videos for the whole thing. So if you feel like there's some weaknesses you have, you can go into that the very last choice in the Module 5, which is at the bottom of Module 5. And then there's directions for your test. It talks about your camera. Your camera has to be so I can see from the top of your head down to your desktop. So what most students have to do is push their computer away a little bit. It makes it a little bit harder to type in your answers, but I need to see from the top of your head down to your desktop. And I'll send you an email and show you some good desktop pictures that I have. Make sure to remain in the camera view. You can't leave during it. If you have to go to the bathroom, talk to the camera and say, I have to go to the restroom real fast. I'll be right back. But you should try and go to the restroom first so you don't have to leave. And then I'll have people that are trying to cheat and they're always looking left, always looking right, looking up. I'm not going to give you credit. Your eyes have to be either on your computer or on your homework or on your paper at all times. And you can have blank sheets of paper out. That's what you do your tests and quiz on. Make sure your phones are out of sight and silent. If I do see a phone during a test, I have to give you a 0. It's written in the syllabus. That's a math department policy. So do not have a phone anywhere near your testing. Don't be checking your messages. Don't answer calls. I had a girl that actually had a whole conversation during her test. And I'm like, really? So you're allowed to have blank paper on your desk, obviously, not allowed. You need it because you have to scan your work into me after your quizzes and tests. Make sure you number your problems. All your problems should be numbered from the ALEKS test or quiz. Make sure that you scan your work to me immediately. If it's after 15 minutes, I will not give you credit. So it has to be within 15 minutes of finishing your test. Scan your work either using Cam Scanner or Adobe Scan. Use the plus sign to do it in one document. So plus sign just keeps adding the pages till you've scanned all your pages. You're allowed to use a scientific calculator on all quizzes and tests in this class. No graphing calculators are allowed as per the syllabus. You should take your test or quiz in a quiet room where you will not be disturbed during the testing process. Okay, so be sure and look over that last assignment in the Module 5. So Module 5 is at the top of your Canvas homepage, and just go down to the bottom and click on that review section. Okay, so I hope you guys got to see that, not just, I don't know if that shows when I'm doing a video, so at least you got to hear it. Okay, good luck. I wish you all the best on the test and the quiz. We'll see you in Module 6. Bye.